Well, I did not have a happy Thanksgiving because the night before Thanksgiving Eve, my water shutoff valve in my basement decided to blow up. It blew out with such force that it destroyed the handle it disintegrated the handle that was on it. And the packing nut, it split the packing nut. It's a, bottom of the line stop valve type water shutoff valve. And it was made it was probably made in the late 60s, because I know this house was built either, according to the county papers, this house was built in 69 or 70, somewhere. That's when they started this housing project neighborhood. And then so it took 2 hours for someone from the city to come and turn off the water at the meter, because if you do it yourself, it's a $300 fine. But it turns out I called the after hours number 3 times, didn't get anybody. I ended up calling police dispatch. I did not call 911. I called their direct phone number, and they seem to know. Oh yeah, we'll call the guy that's on call tonight, and blah blah blah. It was 2 hours from that time to the time the guy showed up. And then the guy revealed to me that he's not a city employee, that he's actually a contractor, because all the city employees had been given a long Thanksgiving weekend. All the city public works employees were given the whole, they were given like a 5-day weekend. And he was a contractor. He wasn't even in this city. He was in another city. And he's trying to say that's why it took it so long to get here and whatever. So I spent Thanksgiving Day trying to clean up the basement, between trying to cook the food, because there ain't nobody here but me that's going to cook Thanksgiving dinner. And that's actually all I bought, for I didn't have anything else to eat. So I had tried to create, I used every towel and every blanket to try to create a channel that would direct the water into the floor drain, which was in the laundry room. But guess what? Not a drop of water went into the floor drain. It flooded around the furnace, which is in the laundry room. And of course, after the water got shut off and after I started cleaning I discovered that my towel and blanket dam channel did not prevent the water from seeping underneath and getting to all the boxes of model kits that I had brought in from the leaky sheds out of my back, because they were being flooded out in those sheds. Because if you watch my older videos where I'm talking about all the flooding in my sheds, well, so they got wet, and I have yet to look at them because I don't want to. So I did get the valve fixed. And anyway, that was my Thanksgiving weekend. I just got the water turned back on yesterday or Monday. Since I don't know when you're watching this video, so I had no water from Wednesday night, midnight, actually, Thursday morning, midnight, to It was about 11 in the morning, Monday morning. I had no water. So anyway, so I still managed to do some work on this. And now for a coffee break. Finally got some decent coffee. Okay, I'm going crazy with it. And now I must tell you about, first I will show you all the effort I have spent, wasted effort, at, you might think. So I finally chopped down this side, and this bulkhead was asymmetrically molded for some reason. Well, now it just drops in, no problem. Before it would get stuck halfway, because, as I predicted in earlier videos, this thing was asymmetrically shaped. It was going to be a fit problem. But it fits now. But does it matter? Painted that interior green. These are interior green. Oh, yeah. Before I forget. So, this thing. I was doing research. I was like, what is that? That don't look right. What is this thing? So, I was doing research, and there is something protruding from the bottom of the early P-40s. But it is not in this shape. It's smaller. It's square, and it's smaller, like, about like that. And it's also angled. It has a angle like this. I need to see. I can't see what my camera's seeing, but anyway, so it's angled like kind of like that way, and I don't know what it is. None of the books I have say what it is. I thought maybe it was some kind of early direction finder antenna thing. But I found photos of the P-36 with something, not the same, but a similar thing protruding out of the bottom of the fuselage, rear fuselage. But they also had the football direction finder on the top, on the spine. So it's like, well, I don't think it's a direction finder. I don't know what it is. But there is something there. When I look at the photos, it's just not in this shape. So I would have to cut it down drastically and then try to put an angle on it to match the photos. But so then I was working on, I got this carburetor intake evened out on the front and filled in where the gap was. And then I discovered, I did too much filing, sanding on the top and flattened it out. And then I tried using a round file to round this out to try to hide but then it got way too thin up here, so I stopped. I thought, oh yeah, that's good enough. And what else? And quickly now, the round file thing. So the round file was also used to open up the vent. So first I used a knife to carve out a big chunk, and then I used some different round files, and they're not even, some of them are not technically round, but I did use round files and other oddly shaped metal files to open up this vent, which is supposed to be open. Now, let me take a coffee break. Oh, I gotta hurry. And what else I did? So you see this little thing? Apparently, this was Hobbycraft Academy's attempt. Oh, I gotta get out of the light. I still need better light. This was their attempt to replicate the 50 calibers in the cockpit. And they did a terrible job because they don't even protrude past the instrument panel, which they should a little bit. And what I did, see those black knobby things? Those are off of a black sprue gate of another kit. And I was going to cut it. See, they're supposed to protrude a little bit past the instrument panel. But I don't know what Hobbycraft, Academy, I don't know what their problem is. They make this shelf thing, which you would think, okay, you're going to put the receivers of the 50 calibers on there, but they never made there's no receivers for 50 calibers in the kit. So I was going to shape these a little bit more. They go in there and they kind of protrude like they do on the real aircraft, which is why the instrument panel is shaped the way it is shaped, because they're on the real aircraft. 50 calibers protrude in the cockpit. Anyways, I did all that work and then came to the conclude after, because I spend more time reviewing my what do you call that? Reviewing my resources on the real aircraft, my books, while I'm, and I came to the conclusion that the Hobbycraft Academy kit is not sufficient for modeling this specific P-40 number 300, based in Hawaii in 1941. Because I found a photo of number 300, and this kit. Oh, video is getting long, so I guess I'm going to have to do a part 2. So in part 2, I'm going to show you why I am now giving up on my December 7th deadline for building the building. Boy, I hate my phone camera. Really is hard to work with. For building this specific P-40. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so stay tuned for part 2.